He returns to action on February 17th in Anaheim, California against Paulo Costa, big one at 185. He is the great Robert Whittaker. There he is. Hello, Rob. How are you?
Good, thanks, mate. Thanks for having me.
Good morning to you. Always appreciate you waking up early. But honestly, this time, I have no doubt that you are already awake. You just welcomed your 5th child to this world, Rob. Unbelievable. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
To you and your wife. 5 children, Rob. Was this the plan all along? 5, I mean, like 4 is a lot. 5 is next level.
But you know what? Honestly, it was one of those things when I was younger. It was like a throwaway. I was always with my wife and everything. I was like, I want a big family. I want lots of kids. But it was a throwaway. You never think of it very much. And then things just happen. Man. And I will say though, once you're at about 3, 4, you can just keep slapping them on. It's like a bargain coupon.
Oh my God! So you don't feel a difference just yet. It's just like total chaos at the house.
Yeah. It's been chaos for a long time. Like
yes.
Once I mean it. And there's anyone out there who is thinking about 4. Once you're at about 3, 4's 5, it doesn't really matter. It's all the same.
And are you done, or do you think you'll go for 6?
You know what? I thought we were. And
wow.
Then my wife has a really, thank God, healthy delivery. The baby's healthy and she's enjoying the whole process, and she's second guessing herself.
Wow.
Like she was said and done, but now I don't know, dude. She got more will than me.
Are you into this idea?
Like I'm going to be honest, like the hard labor, like all the sleepless nights and the feeding, like it's on her. If she wants to do it. I need my sleep for training, and she understands that. So I'm down for whatever the family needs.
Incredible. And by the way, how old is your oldest?
8, 29 this year.
Wow. So you have from 8 all the way down to just a couple months. That is, God bless you guys. Well done.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to hear that everything went well. And glad that you are back, and we'll see you next month. By the way, just a couple of shows ago, we had Paulo Costa on, and he threw out the little factoid that he had not signed his contract. Everyone freaked out over this. I think he has rectified that. Did you see that as well? And did you, with Paulo, it's always a wild ride getting to the fight. Did you worry about his presence?
No, not really, because... And it's always so funny with contracts and contract signing. I didn't even realize that was like a thing I haven't signed or whatever, because UFC comes here and they say, hey, do you want to fight X on this date? And I say, yes, right? When I say I'm in for something, that's it. I'm down. Like that's like, doesn't matter whether I signed the contract today or sign it 2 days before the fight. I said, I'll be there. That's what I'm doing. So I've never understood the whole thing with I haven't signed the contract before him doing his thing. And whether or not I was worried about it actually falling through, not really, because like other times, I would fight someone. Like UFC will get me to fight someone. And I think it's a good fight for him. I think it's a good fight for me. Like we're both high-level middleweights. We're both trying to work our way back to the top of the food chain. So I don't see any reason for him not to.
Right. So when you were offered him the location, the time frame, the date, you liked it all?
Yeah. I was looking for a fight. I've been speaking to the matchmakers for a while, since last year, just trying to organize something to do, give myself direction, give myself a body. I was trying to throw out, the fishing lines a couple of times to see if I could catch a couple of people, but no one took the bait, man. So, but Paulo Costa, perfect time. We've been meaning to cross paths for a long time. California, I think Volk's headlining the card as well. In February, start of the year, everything just lines up kind of perfectly. I'm very happy for it.
Is it tough to train? I mean, it's a little less than a month away while you have a newborn.
I will say, mate. And the women are going to kill me on this.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mate, having a kid was hard for me. It was hard, dude. I was there, and trying to being at the hospital and then like packing up from the hospital and going straight to sparring, and finishing sparring and coming straight back to the hospital for the week we were in there, while everything was going on, was tiring. Okay.
Yeah, no, I feel for you. I feel for you, my friend. Wow.
I understand. She went through labor. It was way harder, but I'm allowed a sore back as well, right?
Yeah, of course. No. You should complain a lot next to her while she's doing everything. I think that'll go over very well.
I did manage to keep this in my head at the time.
Yeah.
At the time.
Very smart. What about like the dieting? Is that tough?
Well, this time not too much, because I've been tracking my macros with a calorie counter.
Okay.
This time through the diet, and honestly, it's never really a problem because I've been in this game for so long. I've been cutting weight and dieting. I know my body better than anybody else on the planet. I can make weight. I can work around situations. The tenure in the UFC and in mixed martial arts by itself, like I know how to diet when I'm away, when I'm like when things aren't stable, when I'm not at home, when I am at home. It's just a routine at this point.
By the way, forgive me for asking. Did you get a tooth knocked out?
No, I did not.
Have you always not had that tooth?
Yeah, I'm missing teeth here.
Really?
I always am. Yeah, I had dentures.
Okay.
But as you get older, your mouth moves, your teeth move, so they stopped fitting comfortably. So I stopped wearing them.
You said F it. Okay. Yeah. No.
I'm surprised you picked it up only now, mate. I've always had it since
maybe it's the camera angle.
Since about 19.
It's like coming down a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it is a bit of a different setup from the last time. The lighting is fantastic. The camera quality is great as well. I know you're into the gaming stuff, so I don't know. Maybe I could see you a little clearer. But in any event, so here you are coming back in February after July. And I know this came out recently, and you were sort of like a little bit hesitant to talk about it. And correct me if I'm wrong, was it Ben Askren who revealed that you were dealing with an injury in the Dricus fight?
I'm not 100% sure who it was.
Okay.
But you're right. I didn't want to really speak about it because just about every fighter in every fight have injuries. Every fighter's going through some sort of injury leading into a match. And my decision to take the fight and to go through with the fight, I stand by that. I stand by my decision, and I don't want to take anything away from him. But, the camp wasn't ideal for me when I fought Dricus. In saying that, though, right, watching him last fight when he fought Sean and won the title, congratulations to him. I think I didn't really give him the props he was due, maybe. I don't know. I saw a lot in that last fight of him. He really dug in. He really wanted it. He was a hungry guy. And, you need to be prepared for that sort of fight. You need to be prepared for that sort of mentality, for that mindset when you're fighting those sort of guys. And maybe I didn't give that the gravity it deserved, because that is a powerful force. And, I'm sure I will not make that mistake again.
Did you think he was going to win going into that fight against Sean?
You know what? As someone who had fought Dricus, I understand how awkward he is to fight. And everyone who saw the fight can say like how awkward he looked. Dude, he was throwing overhands from the first bell to the last bell, left overhand, right overhand, and he was throwing combos of them. Like, I've never seen someone combo a left overhand into a right overhand, right?
Yeah.
And just rinse and repeat the entire fight. But the guy's awkward, switching stances the whole time, the whole fight, pushing forward, tough as nails, taking shots the entire time to land shots. You got to give it to him. As someone who had fought him, he's very awkward. Now, gun to my head, I thought Sean might be able to get away with a decision win, keeping at the end of his jab, peppering away 5 rounds. I thought that would be the safest bet. But I never ruled out Dricus because of how awkward he is, because of how tough and strong he is, because of how hungry he is for that title.
So in a way, his success defies logic because you look at him, and if you don't know anything about fighting, you'd say like, how is this guy so successful? How is he undefeated in the UFC? Because as you said, he's so awkward out there and he's doing things that no coach would tell you to do. Why do you think he is having such great success against the best of the best at 185?
Oh, well, he's definitely got skill. He's got a skill set. Okay. And his style, as awkward as it may be, this is just for me, from my perspective, it works. And that's his style. His style is awkward, big and strong. He's his fights aren't the prettiest fights, but they get it done. And that's a big reason, I think, why I love mixed martial arts so much and why everybody else loves mixed martial arts so much, because there's so many ways to climb the mountain, and he's just an example of it.
Do you think he actually won the fight? It was a little controversial. A lot of fans seem to think Sean did enough. When you were watching, who did you score it for?
I had Dricus winning.
Okay.
I thought I was pretty convinced. I was actually surprised with all the controversy after the fact, because I thought Dricus won. I don't know, but before I get any backlash, I'm not
I
a
agree.
judge,
By the way,
okay?
yes.
I am a layman on the couch, watching like everybody else. Okay, now, in my opinion, I think fights shouldn't be scored by like, ooh, there's one jab and there's two jabs and there's three jabs. It should be two guys punching on. Like, who do you think won the fight? And I think that's where finishing round strong, finishing fight strong, really play into that sort of idea. But like I said, I'm not a judge or anything like that. I think it's a hard, tricky job to begin with.
So do you think fights should be judged on the whole? Like the way it actually almost finishes is more important than the way it starts?
Oh, how long do you have, mate, to talk about judging? Right?
It is complex.
I liked. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was it Pride that had the rule set where it was 2 10-minute rounds, and if nobody won, it was a draw?
Well, I believe off the top of my head, it was 10 minutes and then 5 minutes, if my memory serves me correct.
Okay.
And it was judged on the whole as opposed to rounds. You know what I mean? So there was like, so if you conceivably, if you are losing 90% of the fight, 95% of the fight, but the last 5%, you come on strong and almost like Nate Diaz, Leon Edwards, if you've seen that fight, and you come on strong and you rock your opponent at the end, in Pride rules, you win the fight.
Okay, I didn't know 100%. I think my perfect judging would be 2 10-minute rounds. And if nobody wins in that 20-minute round, it's a draw.
Wow. Like, meaning no stoppage? If there's no stoppage, it's a draw?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
So no judges at all? Judges don't exist?
Don't need judges. Don't need judges.
But then there's going to be so many draws, no?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Like, I never said this was a foolproof plan.
Okay,
right? All right. Like, they would make all these changes and then would be in the same, to sitting here talking about it 6 months later. Like, I don't know. I think it would open up new angles.
All right.
I don't know.
Fair enough. I'm a big fan of open scoring, just so we know what we're dealing with going into the last round. I'm a big proponent of that.
Yep. I could. Transparency is always good.
Yes. And so how would you feel if they booked DDP versus Izzy? Izzy just lost the belt and he gets an immediate title shot. I feel like that's what they're going to try to do. No confirmation just yet, perhaps for 300. Would you be okay with that as one of the participants in this weight class?
Mate, I don't get a say in this.
No, I know. Like, but your thoughts, is it fair?
Yeah. It's hard to say, like, because Izzy's become a bit of a superstar. He is a superstar of the division and of the fighting world. So him getting leeway to do certain things like that, or even him, like, there's talks of him going straight up to light heavyweight to fight Pereira again.
Yeah,
it's not like it's never happened in the UFC before. It's not like it would happen and everyone would go on protest or go on strike. It is what it is. That's the nature of the business. In terms of like my own personal opinion on the matter, I just really want to beat Costa. I want to
Yeah.
beat Costa, get back in that winning circle, and then whoever's got the belt at the end of the day, I will try to take.
One last thing on that before we get back to you. Just curious, you know them both very well. Izzy, DDP. Who do you think wins that?
Um, you know what? I'm going to say DDP
Yeah, wow.
just
Okay.
because he's like Sean with Dricus. It's the safe bet was Sean, but Dricus showed what he was willing to do and what he's willing to go through. Can he do that again against Izzy? Who knows? But he's a tough guy. He's awkward, and he's going to be pushing forward that entire time. Doesn't matter if he's getting hit. He showed that tenacity in that fight. So, yeah, I'll go DDP.
What are you expecting from Paulo? Just because we haven't seen him in so long. We haven't seen him since August of 2022 when he fought Luke Rockhold in Salt Lake. And of course, he was supposed to fight in October. He gets hurt. What kind of Paulo are you expecting to see?
Much the same Polo we've always seen. He's going to be a power puncher. He's a powerful kicker. He's strong. He's big. He's tough. I expect the best version of himself. I'm not making any mistakes on underestimating opponents ever again. So I'm preparing for an absolute dogfight. I'm preparing for a war, for 15 minutes of violence. So in saying that, I'm training myself to death.
Oh, wow.
I'm coming in ready, mate. And I'm looking forward.
When you say ever again, I won't make that mistake ever again. Are you alluding to the DDP fight? Did you underestimate him?
Yeah, and it's not just him. I'm sure I've done it before, but for whatever reason, maybe I came out on top. Right? It's not something. And when I say underestimate, I didn't underestimate him like I'm just going to walk over him. That's not the sort of underestimate I'm talking about. I'm talking about just the gravity of how bad he wanted it, right? Of how tough and how strong he was, of how awkward he was. Because if I'm to be fair, like he hadn't had that many stripes yet at that point. I think it's his last couple of fights that really put him on the map. He's a champ now, right?
Right. It's wild that he's the champ. Who would have thought going into that fight that he would end up the champ, or that Strickland would be the champ and then DDP becomes the champ afterwards? Strickland has become a superstar. Does this blow you away how he's become so popular?
Oh, mate, what a time to live in. I love the movement in the division. I love the movement at the UFC. I love the doors of opportunity for all the athletes. It just makes it interesting. Who's going to be champ next?
Yeah.
Me.
Okay. So where do you think you're at by the end of 2024? Realistically, what do you think is the path?
The path is always the same. I want to beat Costa. I want to get back into that winning circle and focus on working my way up to fighting for that title again. So that's where I would like to be by the end of this year. I want to be fighting for the title, or at least very close.
Okay. Did you think that it was better for you if Strickland retained the belt because you don't have that history with him and that's a fresh matchup, or is the rematch better for you? Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes it depends on who has the belt. That dictates who's in line.
Losing to Dricus put him on a list of rematches that I want, right? So him having the belt just kind of works. Two birds, one stone sort of thing.
Okay, fair enough. And so, not bad. You're fighting in California, so not a very, very long flight for you. But there was that event in Australia in September. Are you hoping to come back this year? Are there any plans to fight back home? I feel like sometimes the stars don't align for you back home. Are you hoping that this happens? Have they talked to you about this?
Certainly. They haven't spoken to me about it, but if this fight goes according to plan, and God willing, my body's healthy and everything, and then they drop a Sydney card or an Australian card, I would love to jump on that. If the stars align, I will always take the opportunity to fight at home when I can, because it's just so much comfortable. My friends and family are here. I don't have to take my 5 kids now overseas.
Yeah.
They can all stay here. It makes it a little simpler.
Is the whole family flying to Anaheim?
No, the baby's too young just yet.
Okay.
The plan was to take the family, but nah, not this time.
Because Disneyland is right there.
I know. And like my daughter's just will not let me hear the end of it.
So no
Don't
kids,
remind her.
no kids on this trip.
No kids on this trip. On
No,
the next one.
no kids, no wife.
No kids, no wife. I'm just taking my father,
Wow.
like last fight.
Okay, so did your wife miss the last fight too? Because she was pregnant.
Yes.
Oh,
It's one of those things where I like to take my family to wherever I go to fight because, mate, I've been fighting for a long time, and it is such a important and major impact. It has such an importance and impact in my life that if I were not to take them to fights, they'd be missing out on half of my life, of half of everything I do. They'd be missing out on all these experiences to travel the world with me. And why fight if I'm not going to let my family be a part of it? So generally, I like to take them to any fight I can, but last fight and this fight, just because of logistics, it hasn't worked out.
are you someone who wants all your kids to have some sort of memory of you fighting, competing on the world stage? In other words, like your 8-year-old is probably only now really sort of truly grasping what you do, but the younger ones not quite yet. Are you going to stick around until your 5th and maybe 6th as well? Will know, who their dad was and watch them live. Is that something that will keep you going?
I'm not gonna hold on for dear life in UFC until I'm like 47, so that my youngest can see me still performing. It's not going to roll like that. And even my eldest, so 8, I don't think he really cares. Like at the gym we train at, and my kids also train at, there's a big photo of me with the belt on the wall. It's all very picturesque, and they don't even think of it. They don't care. They don't connect the dots. They just, they're oblivious. They're more excited about the new games I'm playing, or the new games I'll buy them, or the new toys they'll get for Christmas. It's kids, man.
Yeah, no, I get that. By the way, I just got my kids a PS5. We never had one of those, and I'm blown away by the graphics. My son played Spider-Man 2. He finished it in a few days. It was like watching a movie, watching him play. Do you have a PS5 or an Xbox, or are you just like a computer gamer?
Yeah, I have those, but my kids play with them more, and I use PC more than anything.
Oh,
But I got to say, mate, you're quite up to date,
yeah,
Ariel, right? Like
yeah.
you're quite up to date. You got like an amazing show. You got
Thank you.
lots of gadgets and gizmos. How are you only getting a PS5
Yeah.
now, mate?
No,
Tough times, am I right?
No, it is tough times. It is tough times, but I was afraid of them getting addicted to it. So, and I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I'm more of an athlete myself, Rob. I don't know if you know this about me. I like to
Yeah.
get out there and touch grass and get my hands dirty. So I never got into the games, but now all their friends had it. My son got Fortnite for the first time just recently. It's all very scary. I don't want them to get addicted. That's the scary part.
Yeah. We make a a thing of making sure that their screen time is obviously managed.
Yeah.
And certain games, like if I walk past and they're playing like a stupid game, I'll tell them straight away, like delete it, like get rid of it. But if I'm going to be honest, so they go outside, they play their bikes, but then they come inside. They don't feel like going outside anymore. I'd rather them play video games than watching TV.
1,000%.
When they're watching TV, it just annoys me. I see them there sitting there watching TV. I'm like, play something, do something, like stimulate your mind somehow.
I agree with that, and especially with YouTube and all the nonsense on there, I'd much rather them play than watch YouTube or scroll through like the shorts and all that stuff. So I agree 100%. I was just going to ask you if you had any recommendations on a new game that I can get, like, because I know you're all into these, these fantasy stuff, crazy things. Do you got any recs for me?
What, for your kids?
Yeah, for the kids. Yeah. So Spider-Man, did you ever play Spider-Man? It's quite good.
Mate, Spider-Man is such a good game.
Yes.
That was one of the earliest games my son played, and it blows me away just like how good it is and how good it is for kids, like to swing around the city and just open
It's amazing.
the mind, and they put in puzzles and the kids got to work it out. It's it's really cool. In terms of recommendations, I probably wouldn't recommend Fortnite.
Yeah, I know.
I think that's pretty terrible.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
Minecraft's good. Minecraft's really good.
Yeah. The kids like Minecraft, right? You can get that on PS5
stimulate that
or just on
creative
PC.
muscle. No, you can get it on all the
Okay.
consoles. It's a big thing now.
All
You
right.
know,
All right. Roblox as well. You play Roblox?
I don't think Roblox is good.
Oh,
I
wow.
don't. It's like
Controversial.
because it's like anyone can create their own game and put it online, and some of the games are just stupid, dude, or rude, or like not for kids.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. And then every 10 seconds, my son's coming up to me going, "Can I have some Robux? Can I have money?
Yeah.
Can I buy this?" I'm like, "Get out of here,
It's a
dude! You're
scam.
never going to play this game again."
Yes, I know what you mean. By the way, before I let you go, Paulo likes to joke with, the whole secret juice thing and all that, and he joked
Mhm.
about catch weight and all this. Uh, in the post-USADA era, how many times have you been tested?
None.
None. Does this concern you?
Nah, dude.
Okay.
Not really. Like we'll see what happens. But yeah, none yet.
You think Paulo's au naturel? What do you think? Is it just the secret juice?
Nah, I don't know. He's got a physique on him for
He
sure.
does,
But I will
golly.
say, in that Rockhold fight though, he looked shrunken, right? He didn't look like Mega Costa few fights before that. He looked leaner, he made the weight. So yeah, I'm curious to see which Costa we see this fight.
All right. Well, I look forward to it. Big comeback fight for you. You say that you're killing yourself to get there. Hopefully, you're healthy and in good shape and good spirits, and no issues. And we'll see you out there on February 17th. Thank you as always, and again, congratulations to you and your family on the new edition.
Thank you so much for having me, mate. Take it easy.
Pleasure as always. What a guy, Robert Whittaker. Always a pleasure to have him on the program, and what a fun fight that is. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it very much. Hey, if you like this video, give us the old thumbs up. Subscribe as well. You could get many more of these videos on the channel, so please do that. We would love you forever if you did so.